almost support that they, if it's possible, to get higher education. But
So you're hoping maybe those people that come in at level 5 will then start the process to go to level 6?
yes,
Yeah. Classes, night classes, maybe summer classes to get that training.
different trainings, it's possible.
Is it a lot of work to go to the level 6 for those people?
Because if they want to get the certificate level 6, they must have higher education.
So that's
They
a lot
must
of
have-
work.
yes.
It's a lot of time.
Yes.
It
Depends to, it's 2 years, it is magister.
2 years full
7.
time.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. But in Tallinn University there is very flexible programs, very flexible this learning process. Because I'm sitting in the commission who is assessed the young teachers. And it is they can work the same time in vocational school because they are, for example, they have their profession, and in Tallinn University they can more know about pedagogy.
Okay, the other thing is, how is the pay? The pay here for a vocational teacher versus being in the industry.
Less in vocational school, it's less.
So is this a problem too, getting
Yes, of
people?
course.
Because
Yes,
people
yes.
say, hey, you know.
But it depends, because it depends where you are working, what kind of city in Estonia. It's because
Right.
differences in different towns in Estonia.
Yeah.
It is the problem.
Is it harder, is it even more difficult to find teachers in the rural areas?
Yeah.
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 Because I visited a school yesterday and the teacher had the director had a physics teacher, and he said he didn't know if he was going to fill it.
It's in construction school, yes.
No, the basic school
Okay.
I visited. He had a very difficult time finding a physics teacher.
Yes. Yes.
And so they had to figure out another way. They got somebody that wasn't completely qualified, but they kind of gave the guy what he wanted. But I'm not sure he's going to stay, because he's a young guy and he wants to get married and he's living in a place where there's not many people.
I know the problems where I worked in vocational school in central Estonia, in countryside, and then I saw a lot of students. They didn't know about math. It's there were very big. How to say? For example, they don't know very basic things in math, and then I asked how many hours you were in a week, and they said that, for example, during 1 year we hadn't teacher of math in basic school.
Couldn't find a teacher.
Yes, and it is a problem.
It's a problem. Yeah, I don't think it's that much of a problem in Finland because they pay more. And there seems to be more young people that want to go into education.
In Estonia, it is how all these things are decides headmaster.
Right.
Yes, all the salaries about the questions and such kind of thing. It's but of course they have the money,
Right.
and headmaster decides how much will be for salaries and such kind of things. It is director is a very important person.
So the director has a lot of power in the
Yes,
school.
yes, yeah.
Can the director has a lot of power to terminate people too,
Yeah.
to get rid of them if he wants, or once you have a job, is it pretty stable here? For example, is it if you get a job, is it difficult to get rid of the person if they don't like them or they don't like the work they're doing?
I think it depends.
Mm-hmm.
It can be different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do they have strong unions here? Do they have teacher unions or no?
Yes, but not very strong. And we have different unions, but it depends the field and occupations. It's very different. We have very, very strong and that kind of fields. No.
Yeah. Well, what I found here talking to the directors is they just have they seem like they have a lot of trust in their teachers. And so once they're a teacher, they let the teacher pretty much decide how things are going to be run. This is a lot different than in the United States, where directors are much more micromanagers and they want lesson plans and they want this and they want that, and there's very little trust. So here, teachers seem like if the director was asking from them, then it would make them mad. They wouldn't like it, and they might leave. So I think the directors are a bit, since it's difficult to find teachers, they're more willing to work with the teachers rather than try to get rid of the teachers, because then it could be difficult finding the replacement. So that's kind of what maybe I'm wrong, but that's kind of what I got here. Just because I talk to a lot of students here, but they don't seem to want to be teachers. And I look at most of the teachers in the schools, and they look like they're getting near or close to retirement age. So I don't see a lot of youth in the teaching corps, which leads me to believe that there might be a problem coming soon, because there's not enough teachers, not enough youth to regenerate it. I wonder how that will.
We know the problems.
Yeah.
But it is not very. The teacher is not very proper. The profession of teacher is not very popular.
Yeah, I think maybe if it was the income was increased substantially, maybe kids would want to. Could consider it more of a, because, it's funny because in the United States, all professions that are revered as good professions all have money attached to them. They have good money, and that's why a lot of kids want to go in there, because they want to make money.
You asked, Estonians are very religion people. I can say that our religion is education.
Your what? Religion?
Yes.
Right.
It is education. And we believe that if you have very good skills and if you have very good education. And now I can say that a lot of young families who went abroad and work there, now if they have children and if their children go to school, the families come back to Estonia because they want that their children are going to school in Estonia. And I think that it's a very good process. Now more people come back than go out abroad, and it's very, very good numbers for us.
That's a good thing, but one of the director yesterday told me that a lot of his people that do the program, construction, leave to Finland. They'll take the ferry back, once or twice a week to come back, but they're working over there because they're making
but
a lot more
their
money.
families and children are here in Estonia. But I told about children.
They leave them here, but they're going there to try to earn more money.
Because Europe is open for us.
Right, so you can't stop them.
You can work.
That's part of the EU, right? The freedom of choice. So sometimes it works to your advantage, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, but I'm going to remember what you said, that education's kind of your religion, because I was trying to think of the word, and now that rings a bell. I arrived here on Sunday morning, and I went to different churches, and they were like museums. Nobody was in them. But they were open, but nobody seemed to be going to church, So quite secular, here. What do you think that was because of Soviet times that they kind of got rid of the religion?
No. How to say? All this, it was. Estonians are people from forest,
Mm-hmm.
and we believe nature, we believe forest, we believe trees. It is our religion.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and all this it is for Germany, who occupied Estonia and who brought us the church. They built.
So
church.
the invaders built the churches.
Yes. And now it is. It is not. We are not very religious.
Yeah. Well, you can tell.
Of course, we have people who want. It is.
For the
free.
people
It
that
is
are
free.
for people that are in religion, is it Protestant here? What religion are they in normally? Protestant? A Protestant?
Protestant, yes, and Russian.
Russian.
Yes.
Orthodox, maybe
Yes,
Russian
yes,
Orthodox.
yes. Because also west side of Estonia, it is
Russian.
Russian, yes.
On the border.
It difference, yes.
The west is what borders Russia?
Yes.
Yeah.
It depends what part of Estonia.
Yeah.
That's good.
How do Estonians very Western, right? Very Western thinking, I think. But how do they feel about Russia?
I think that it is not problem Russian or Estonians. It is a problem of power and systems.
Mm-hmm.
It is not about nations.
Mm-hmm.
Because Russians all the time were our neighbors, and I think that. And if we talk about we are here and against Russians, it's not against.
Yeah.